easier.
Yeah, no logos, just all black.
No, I'll wear my band shirts. I'll do all that shit. But I'm just like, I feel more comfortable dressing like a dude who looks... I feel more comfortable dressing like a dude in a hardcore band.
Yeah.
That's just where I feel comfortable. I feel uncomfortable when I like when I know like I got a cool guy shirt on. I remember, dude, Nate convinced me to buy cool guy pants, and I wore them one time, and I go, I feel like an asshole in these. And I'm not saying you can't wear cool guy pants, but like it just goes contrary to me. I go, no, you go to fucking Kohl's and you get a $30 pair of Levi's, and that's your pair of pants.
It's the thing that pisses me off the most is like comedy has the biggest, it has the least amount of actual rules. There's no real rules to anything. And constantly I always hear fucking open micers and up all saying, like, trying to add rules and fucking regulations to a thing that doesn't have it. To say, like, this is the dress code. You're supposed to wear this, and you gotta do this, and you gotta... And it's like, but then some of the biggest names are people that end up doing something completely different.
Well, I always joke. It's like, actually, you know what? For me, it goes back to Big J every time. People will be like, crowd work's a fucking trick. Crowd work's for hacks. I go, okay, so Big J Okerson's a hack.
Yeah.
Patrice O'Neal was a hack. And then both of those guys, it's like, oh, you're supposed to wear this. It's like, well... Patrice wore a giant suit and a huge hat, and Big J's got a whole flag coming out of his pocket, and he's wearing
a hoodie and a fucking
and he's wearing a chain wallet and fucking cholo shorts. Like, oh, you actually, the rule is be as funny as humanly possible, and you can kind of do whatever you want. Best joke from the I was just watching the Louis J. Gomez roast from Skankfest.
Mm-hmm.
Best joke on Big J Okerson from Joe List. Big J's so Jewish, he has his wallet chained to his pants. You know who had a bunch of Jews in their group? The Ramones.
Really?
Yeah, dude, their drum. That was my favorite part.
That's what's. Oh.
That's why I don't like.
That's what it is.
No, dude, their drummer, his real name.
Marky?
Oh wait, was it Joey or who was the lead singer?
His name is Marky in the band, but his real name is Marky.
No, dude, there was
Marky, come down here.
No, they're like original drummer. I think his real name was like Jaime.
Ugh.
And I go, that's a fake name. I was like, people actually have that name.
They're like, we were thinking like Johnny and Joey. And he's like, what about Jaime?
What about Jaime? We're the Ramones.
Now I want to sniff some glue.
One of my favorite tidbits of information. I forget the guy's name, but there was a dude who was their original bassist before Dee Dee, and they're like he couldn't cut it because he didn't know how to play the bass. I go, did you let him know he was in the Ramones? Dude,
he didn't cut it. Like, was he ever plugged in?
You played bass, right?
I do.
I used to play guitar. I was good enough to play like Green Day songs.
Yeah.
That was like, I actually got decent at playing American Idiot. That would probably be the peak of my guitar playing. And I remember I finally was like, yo, let me go like learn some Ramones songs. And I looked up the tabs for them. And I go, no.
Yeah.
It can't be that easy.
Yeah.
It can't be just that. And it's like, yeah. That's why, like, whenever they talk about, like, what the Ramones were good at, they always talk about how unnecessarily hard they made themselves, they made it to play the songs.
It's so crazy because there isn't, so I was trying to find out, like, because I remember growing up being, like, really into the Ramones, and I think it's because of that. Essentially, everybody says that they have this influential, they have this, huge impact on the punk scene. They're part of establishing punk rock in the mainstream. Like that
is true.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also like, but then the amount of praise and like recognition heaped on them.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking just buckets of it. Because I remember when I started to get into them, they weren't like, I guess they were still around. I still don't exactly know Like I have some of the time
think it
frames
was-
of when like a lot of the members died, but like they just kind of kept going, and to the
They
extent
hung
now,
it up between like 95 and 2000.
But-
Sometime between then is when they hung it
but
up.
technically, even now, there's still all of these surviving members continued to tour. I saw Marky Ramone.
Wait, did you actually go see that?
Yeah,
Here in
no,
Austin?
no. But that's what I'm saying is like now it's being, but he's the only last surviving member, and now,
he's not an original member.
yeah,
But in his defense, I do think he played drums the most, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they had the most. I feel like, and maybe the Misfits have them a little bit by this, but the amount of best ofs, definitive collections.
Dude, that's such a good point. I never even thought about that. The amount of best of CDs that have come out for the Ramones is actually psychotic.
It's out of hand, and it's one of those things where like I ended up falling for it because I bought like it was, I can't remember which one it was, but I'll look. I got the numbers here. There isn't a single definitive number of how many Ramones collections exist. However, there are numerous compilations, box sets, and individual releases featuring their music.
You know what I think that? You know why I think that is? And
What?
this is just a guess. Because I didn't realize this. During their career, they
have 14 studio albums and 10 live albums.
Yeah, so during their career, which by the way, I did the math. The studio albums, 14 albums, it's like 7 hours of music.
Yeah.
So like the fact that there's multiple best of is also crazy.
Yeah.
I think if you just know a Ramones song, it's one of those bands where once you've heard about 6, you've heard a lot. And I say that as a dude who's like, I went back and listened to them and I was like, some of these songs do fucking rip. I am no way saying they're a bad band, but it's like when we talked about Bad Religion. They kind of write the same song over and over again.
I hear more of a difference in Bad Religion than the Ramones.
That's fair, yeah.
But I will listen to the one best of Bad Religion album, which is all ages essentially.
Yeah.
At that time, that I really enjoy. That's the one I'll listen to. See, what happens is, normally
Sorry.
it's like a band will like do a couple years of their career and everything like that, and then release the best of as kind of a compilation of those.
Yeah.
What the Ramones did their whole career and then just did the best of their whole career, the best of their whole career, revisiting the best of their whole career. Wow, look at their best career.
You know what I think you get?
Each one of them would just miss 1 or 2 songs that I would really like KKK Took My Baby Away. Wouldn't be included on this best of.
Yeah.
But it would be included on this best of.
They really need to do a best of the best ofs.
That's the next one.
You know what? This was God, I love getting sidetracked, especially when it's the Ramones. I got so many opinions about them. You know, this is my guess why they have so many best ofs, because I didn't realize this, because I just grew up. Ramones shirts are in fucking Kohl's. They must be, they're the Blitzkrieg Bop's the main song in the Tony Hawk trailer.
Yeah.
They must have just been the biggest band in the world. They weren't actually that big when they were out. They did really well overseas, but in America, they were always just like they did good, but they never were like blowing people away in the numbers they would do. I don't think they ever had an album that like cracked the top 20, shit like that.
Yeah.
So like they were probably just making okay money the whole time. And then all these bands, dude, like all these bands who grew up with the Ramones, like they were speaking the good word of like they were the reason I realized I could pick up a guitar and play music.
Yeah.
So then they started creating the legend, and then people started to like really fuck with the Ramones on like a more legendary level. And the Ramones saw that and they were like, what if we put out bi-monthly best of albums to capitalize on? And in their defense, I get it. You're like, we can finally capitalize on our name.
Yeah, make hay while the sun's shining.
Sure, but it's a wonderful observation. The fact that the Ramones have more than 3, honestly, if any band has more than 2 best of, you get one when you're hot, and then if you keep going a couple more albums, you get another one to throw in all those songs that no one really cares about.
And the best ofs even, and we'll say this, like we said, great songs, fun songs, very simplistic songs. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't like a level of like
You know what their formula
there
was?
wasn't what?
It was basically they were really big fans of doo-wop songs and shit like that, and like old standards, rock standards and shit like that. And they were like, "Ayo, what if we played these really fast and badly?"
Yeah. I don't wanna be buried in a big cemetery.
Yeah.
And you just go like, yeah, hey, Joey, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
When you die from cancer, which which is crazy. The amount of cancer that was through the Ramones, like it's nuts.
It was
that-
creative cancer too.
it was creative kids because brother, you're not gonna get buried in a pet cemetery because you're not a pet. You are a monster.
Oh my god, dude.
That guy was the ugliest human being alive or dead. And I mean this.
Wasn't that wait?
He was a
the
wonderful human being.
What was
a
the lead
gentle
singer's name? Joey.
Joey.
Yeah, dude, that was whenever they'd be like, yeah, he was really like self-conscious growing up. I was like, was it because of his face?
Yeah, was it because of how he looked?
It's because he kept looking in a mirror.
because of how he looked and sounded?
Because he's the skinniest, tallest human being in the world.
If I'm saying like, look, man, I'm not here to objectify, but like, there's a reason like rock stars became rock stars, and like the Ramones were the guys with the long hair in their face.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The only one that didn't die from cancer was Dee Dee Ramone, and he died from
heroin. Yeah,
in 2001. I mean, you would think like at this point, if you're the bass player for the Ramones, again, not like you're the most successful in the world and all this other bullshit, but like, I mean, brother, just get cancer.
come on,
You can't.
Dee Dee.
Literally, Dee Dee couldn't do anything right. He died from they're like, "Hey guys, what do you say we die from cancer?" And he's like, "What?" Sticking a fucking needle in his arm. And I don't understand.
1, 2, 3, 4. Cancer.
Yeah,
But goddamn it, when he got cancer, it was surprisingly in time.
wasn't he the one? And he was the one.
He was the
infamous-
rapper.
Well, he was the one that all what? He rapped?
You don't know about D.D. King? Yeah, dude.
What happened with D.D. King?
Have you never heard D.D. Ramones rap?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's imagine if the Beastie Boys met up with Run DMC and they were like, "Hey, do you want to make the worst shit ever?"
D.D. King of the Hill.
D.D.
What the hell?
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
it's Dee
Oh,
Dee
oh,
from
oh.
King of the Hill. It assumed you wanted to look at that white trash queen.
Damn, I had no idea.
Yeah, and he had a what was his rap album called?
Is this it?
I think so. Can you find the Wikipedia because the the song titles were fucking hilarious.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Go on back now. Oh, Jesus Christ, just go back. Just go back to the thing I said.
please God.
Is Wikipedia?
Here, wait, go up. Yeah, click on the album.
This one here?
Yeah, that might bring us to it. Scroll down. Is it a track listing? No. Oh yeah. There.
Okay.
Mashed. I forgot. He had a song called "Mashed Potato."
Mashed potato, mashed potato.
No, he
Isn't
had.
that the Wiggles?
I don't know.
Show more.
He had one song that
Yeah,
was
show more.
like.
I want a Brooklyn Babe, poor little something, mashed potato, too much to drink. I don't know. This sounds too coherent.
The Crusher.
Standing in the Spotlight is the first solo studio album by Dee Dee Ramone, released in 1989 under the rap moniker Dee Dee King. The
Yeah.
album is sometimes considered one of the biggest failures in recording history.
Oh, it is. It's like
Musically, songs vary from old school hip hop to doo wop to rock and roll and punk rock. This is what I'm saying. Is this guy is like, I mean, obviously he's famous from doing like the Ramones and all this other bullshit, but like for the most part, it's just, brother, like, what was Sid Vicious. It was also superhero. If Sid Vicious had lived, would he be the Dee Dee Ramone of the Sex Pistols?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like it just like.
Well, the
if
problem is
if you are a bass player in a influential early punk rock band, you are doomed to be a fucking douchebag
Well, the
until you
problem-
die of heroin.
Well, here's the here's the reality is
With all due respect.
well, no, here's the reality, and this kind of coincides a thing that was like irritating me about every fucking documentary I watched about the Ramones, and it's the problem with like. I've been learning this, dude. Whenever we do research for these episodes, it's like it's way better to just read articles and watch interviews. Don't watch the documentaries. They just give you the movie of the Ramones.
Yeah,
It's like I sent you the clip where the dude was like, "Oh yeah, dude, beat on the brat." Like he was like at a party one time and he like saw this kid and he just was like, "Yo, I want to beat on him." And I'm like, "You don't have to explain what beat on the brat is about."
Brother,
and they're like,
nobody's wondering how the Ramones came up with. Nobody's wondering where the inspiration for
or he's
any one of the songs. Like,
and he's talking about the writing process.
Rock and Roll High School. What is it? What's that about? Well, it's about a high school that's like rock and roll, baby.
Dude, literally like every Ramones song is basically, it feels like they just looked around the room.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, who's that? Oh, is that Judy? Yo, ain't she a fucking punk?" And then Johnny's over there like, "What the okay." Oh, but no, like the dude was talking. The thing that was driving me crazy in that doc, he was like, "Yeah, dude, what they were doing on Beat on the Brat when they were like figuring out those chord progressions, it was just transformative."
Yeah.
And I go, "No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it absolutely
It was
not.
standard chord progressions. They played really fast, and I will give them props. Like." I was reading a bunch of like interviews from from people who like grew up with the Ramones.
Yeah.
And it is funny to look back now, but the fact that they like just played all the songs really fast. Like when they first came out, they were known for playing a 20-song set in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
But dude, it's so funny reading it and reading back and just these people who were like, "Yeah, we never considered doing the songs twice as fast." Because they said, like, when the Ramones came out, immediately every band just started playing really fucking fast.
Yeah.
It really, like, no one in, like, all good?
Yeah.
In, like, it, like, blew everyone's mind because no one in the late 70s considered playing that fast.
Yeah, I think they just, in general, like, the fact that they have a heroin addict on rhythm and they're going way faster than they should just proves to their defiant nature and wanting to be the most influential punk band of all time. Not even to go into it for that. I would love to know, like, truly what their intentions were. because I feel like what they did was by accident. Like they were obviously gonna just be the Ramones no matter what, right?
You saying like the playing fast shit?
Like it's kind of like the thing that is pretty cool about it is the fact that no matter what, they were all going to just do this.
Yeah.
They were gonna play this type of music, like you said, being inspired by doo-wop, whether it be in the look. Like that's the fun thing about the greaser look, is the Ramones helped to perpetuate a fake culture. It's not a real. The greaser did not exist.
I'm so glad you said
until
that.
movies, and they just took that character of a already made up fucking character,
Yeah.
and just continued with it. They were essentially the Rock and Fonzes.
I'm so glad you said that because it's why people who get obsessed with fashion, hey, if that's your thing, more power to you. But the like influence and all this other shit that people transpose on top of fashion and its importance to the world. It's like the whole greaser look with the Ramones and how that affected like punk rock and shit like that. It is like a huge example of why, like, it's a huge example of like, yeah, this fashion stuff is all just fake. It's not real. Fashion is someone makes a shirt and then they create a little story and a universe around it why they think everyone else should fucking wear that. Are you bringing up that clip I sent you?
Yeah. Hold on, let me see if it might be too loud.
So I think
Who the hell is this?
he went from there
Alex Cooper.
to I think one of his
Or
earliest
was it
next song
Alex?
might have been certainly one of his early songs was "Beat on the Brat," whose melodic and chord changes on it are so brilliant and unique that he was already a virtuoso songwriter by
Yeah,
about
whoever
his
that
second
guy
song.
is in the Ramones documentary, I fucking hate him because I
I
watched
think
about
this is
half
Tommy
an
Ramone.
I watched about whoever he is. He should all. Nah, I don't want to say get cancer.
No, if he's a Ramone, don't worry, it'll happen.
No, whoever that guy is in the documentary, he's the most fucking annoying. I watched about half an hour of it, and every time he pops up, he just like makes up a story.
Yeah.
He just says things that go, oh, that does none of what you just said applies to real life.
Or what we just saw, like to say like, oh, it's just so melodic. Like, was it?
You're like, no, literally, I don't know. I'm not a guitarist, so I don't know exactly how to explain it, but like most Ramones songs are a standard punk rock chord progression where you start on one fret and then you go a string higher and then you move up the guitar neck 2 frets and you just move around like that or different variations of that. I go, yeah, that's what they did every single fucking song.
Yeah, I think there's a level of artistry being added to like what he's saying, but not to what they're doing.
No, and I
And
will.
it's standard punk rock progression, but yeah, they came
But
up
I
with
will
it.
give
blah,
the
blah, blah.
Ramones. I will give the Ramones props because how they played the songs, I think, is like a big part of sort of evolving the punk sound. Like the songs are the easiest songs to learn and play and everything like
Right.
that. But you do got to give it to like Johnny, Dee Dee, and the drummer. Like the downstroking all those songs is actually nuts. Because you got to think about it, dude. They were playing like eventually when they got huge, or not huge, but when they got bigger, they were playing hour-long shows. And to downstroke an hour-long show is
Yeah.
some like crazy
In a leather
level
jacket.
of what?
In a leather jacket.
Is like some crazy level of endurance, you know,
I
that
think-
you got to give them props for.
And I would say that like there is the part of them inventing or creating a whole genre or any of that shit. Like I do get it. Like it is very impressive, and it's like, but also they never ever grew from that.
Yeah.
And it kind of and I that goes back and forth with me, from me respecting it to me going like, all right guys, can you like, wouldn't it be, it would be cool if they ended up getting the shine where like a bunch of like punk rock guys can come out and play with them, play their song, like Black
Well,
Sabbath
that is
did.
how they that was what they did on their last show.
They had like a bunch of like other
Oh, dude,
people
it was
come
so
out.
cool. Oh, you never saw it? It was so cool. Like they had Lemmy come out and played their song Ramones with them.
Nice.
They had actually, I think other gentlemen we've roasted. They've had Tim Armstrong and Lars Fredriksson hop on a song with them. They did this really cool live show when they were doing their farewell tour, where they brought out like 10 to 20 different. It's kind of like what Ozzy did on his last show.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they did do some cool shit like that. Yeah, I do think like they definitely had a big influence on punk rock, where something as simple as like just downstroking a whole song adds a completely different level of intensity to a song than if you were just strumming to it.
Yeah.
It's like annoying everybody.
These simple songs, and they were teenage songs.
You know, how many times you've been in a restaurant? There's like kids like.
That was the other. Back it up 3 seconds just so we can hear the whole thing. But that guy in his chair, he was also the funniest part of the documentary, because mid-interview it sounded like he kept like snoozing and like forgetting he was in a documentary.
Teenage songs.
You know, how many times you've been in a restaurant? There's like kids like annoying everybody. You know, what do you want to do? You know, kind of a funny way. You want to be in a rap. You know, some of the songs are meant to be funny in a strange way, and a lot
Yeah, dude.
of people think they're.
There's nothing I hate more than like you almost make it's like Beat on the Brat's a fun little song, but when I hear you over explaining it like this, I go like, all right, it's now I'm having to be mean about Beat on the Brat when I didn't want to, because you guys are just like creating a false reality.
One of their like one of their strongest, I feel like, songs is is actually kind of their, I guess you would say like smartest, like as far as Blitzkrieg Bop.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's talking about the German soldiers attacking Poland, wasn't it?
I
Blitzkrieg.
forget specifically, but yeah,
It's like
probably.
it's an actual it's like what they're talking about is a genuine actual military event.
They had another one shitting on Reagan. Something goes to.
We don't like Reagan. Actually, they couldn't do that. They
Oh
probably
no, they
like,
wrote. I think they wrote Straight Outta Compton.
that was after they had an interaction with cops in the outside.
Yeah.
But
And then Johnny Ramone was like, "Good job, boys."
did you know about this? This is really fun. Did you know that they were held at gunpoint by Phil Spector?
I heard that. It's not confirmed, but if you've learned anything about Phil Spector, it's probably real as shit.
It's when he was working with them in the studio. He had a gun to Joey's head, and he said, "Write a second song." Stop playing the same fucking song. It was the first time it was justified that Phil Spector held a gun to someone's.
He actually got them to write a second
Yeah,
song
he's
because
like-
he was just like, they actually hated working with Phil Spector because he was like, yeah, he made us like slow down and write a second song. It was fucking
bullshit, man.
What the fuck's his problem?
I'm like, wait, I'm not even at a restaurant right now, like that. But if you were Brad, I'd beat you. Just like, what are you?
you know
talking
what?
about?
I will write a second song, but you lucky you ain't a brat.
Yeah, because if you were, I'd beat on you with a baseball bat. Hold on.
Hold on. Beat on the brat. Beat on the brat.
Are we
Phil
rolling?
Spector's got a gun to my head. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
Man, it's crazy.
Sorry, I don't mean to. By the way, I don't mean to look at my phone, but I'm really trying to find this one song title, and now I don't care.
Sheena
Actually,
is it Sheena is a punk rocker?
yeah,
you
that one's about
Judy's a punk.
That one's about Reagan putting crack into the black community.
Oh.
We should do that. Let's do that to inflate the Ramones. The song "Pinhead" is actually about the fourth dimension, and it's about how we actually have 10 dimensions of reality.
I don't want to be a pinhead.
I don't want to be a pinhead no more.
I will say,
a nurse that. No,
that's a great song.
no, they have some songs that fucking rip, especially when they play it live. Like Teenage Lobotomy, bit of a ripper. Lobotomy. You know, actually, where I think this is where I got introduced to the Ramones, because it was either Tony Hawk or it was a mixture of Tony Hawk and Green Day. Did your wife keep KOing herself?
Knock it off.
I remember hearing Blitzkrieg Bop and Tony Hawk. That was a big deal. But I also remember
Blitzkrieg Hawk.
yes. I also remember finding I was like, this was the Kazaa era, and I'm just downloading shit, and I go, I was like, MILF porn? Got it. Green Day videos? Cool.
Yeah.
Linkin Park, AMVs? Hell yeah, brother. Animated music video.
Got it.
Basically, people would take anime and put in the end over top of it, and it works perfectly every time.
It's always the Wizard of Oz there, baby.
What?
It's always the Wizard of Oz.
Dude,
there.
I don't know what it is. Linkin Park over top of anime always rips. Every single time. But yeah, I remember I downloaded these videos of Green Day, and they were playing at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they played like a 3-song Ramones medley, so it took about 40 seconds. And no, I remember they played like Blitzkrieg Bop, Teenage Lobotomy, and one other song, and I was like, this is so cool, but these aren't Green Day songs.
Yeah.
And then I heard Ramones, and I go, you guys should probably play these as fast as Green Day did.
Yeah. Like the thing I don't understand on the recording, most of the recordings that they have are all played super compared to how they play most of the time slow.
Live. And I do want to talk about the live experience, because that is a whole other layer to the Ramones.
Yeah, my experience with them, I got to see them like I never saw the any of the main Ramones, just I think the drummer with like some of the other guys from Black Flag and Misfits and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like they did a super group. But when I saw it was like a documentary or something like that. I watched when I was younger, when I was really into them, and I thought it was so cool. But then I saw like them playing in front of these huge arenas and these huge crowds and all this shit in Japan.
Yeah.
Again, we're back to Japan.
No, they
like they were huge overseas, but I don't think that they would have been able to sell out like that. Not even close in the U.S., which is crazy until after
But-
they died.
Yeah, and in their defense, that is how it goes for a lot of bands.
We just spent a half an hour talking about how much they deserve to die from cancer.
that was you.
No, I think we
No.
were talking about we both wished cancer on everybody.
It was one of the few times I got uncomfortable making jokes on the show. It was all you. No, but to be fair, that is like a common thing for a lot of bands who are like moderately successful here, but they can go to other countries and get pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
It was like, I want to say it was either England or Brazil was the first time, was like the first and only time they ever got like a top 10 record.
Yeah, and I will say they did not deserve it. But because again, lovely guys, innovated a whole music genre, but as far as like top 10 albums, Ramones don't even reach top 75 in my head.
Yeah, but
like, you know what I'm
can
saying? Like
I
I
say
feel like
this?
I confidently think of 75 other artists that should be in the top. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say this though? And this doesn't like you do have to remember that like the Ramones are probably one of the most like copied bands in punk rock.
What do you mean? Like covers of the songs?
Or just like what they
Like
did.
bit their style.
Because the truth of it is
Yeah, look at the Donnas.
The truth of it is they're really easy to imitate. They're really easy to like do their thing.
Yeah.
So like, and I know it was the problem with me when I went back to listen to them this week for this episode. I was like, oh yeah, I've heard this shit 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And so on top of that, it's like how in wrestling someone does a super kick and then other people start realizing they could just do a super kick normally. So then over time, you know, the super kick doesn't become that special of a thing. I get it. It's like, you know, they are also victim of like, in the long run, we realized you weren't that creative.
Right.
But also I'm more like when you see them filling an arena in the 80s, that's fair. Because it was still a newer, fresher thing.
Yeah.
But like, I get it now where, you know, the you saying like they don't deserve it. If it was like the situation now where it's, well, I guess even now if they were still alive, it would be, I don't know.
Like it
would
so
be like
weird
a
to
legend
say.
thing that
There-
people got excited about.
There's plenty of UFC fighters that are Hall of Fame fighters that never won a proper championship.
Yeah.
Like they may have been interim champion. They may have been like a number one contender in the top 5 for most of their career. But like somebody, actually Dustin Poirier is a great example of that. He is somebody that is absolutely a Hall of Fame historic 1 in a million fighter.
Yeah.
Like entertaining, skilled, like down for anything, fought some of the greatest fighters of all time and fucking beat the shit out of them, gave them a
Yeah.
challenge, whatever it may be, but never won a legitimate world title. He's been an interim world champion.
Yeah.
He couldn't unify the belt. He hasn't won anything, and he's going up again. His last fight's coming up this weekend. And like that's
Best fight ever.
yeah, he's retiring. So, I mean, we'll see. But like as of right now, he's retiring.
Yeah.
So he's it's a thing where I think there's plenty of bands that could be considered incredibly influential and maybe somebody's favorite, one of the most, but they're influential because, like you say, they show you, like we were talking about with Big J earlier, or any of these other things of saying like that you're showing people that it's possible.
Yeah,
But it doesn't mean that you're the greatest band in the world or that.
I think like, sorry to cut you off, but like I was reading the one article on their wiki that like Rolling Stone they put like Johnny Ramone in like the top 20 greatest guitarists of all time.
No.
I go, he deserves to be, like, if you're doing a top 100 list,
Of influential?
he deserves to be on that list because he directly influenced all of punk rock now. But that's the problem with the Ramones is people take that influence and they still hold him up as like
They compare it to skill. They say it's skill, and it's
yeah,
like,
and it's like no. If we're like if we're doing a list of most important bands of all time, Ramones is on that list. If we're doing list of best bands of all time, I don't know if I'm throwing Ramones on that list. That's, I think, the difference is like, because you can't deny the influence. Like, there's millions of interviews of people being like, Ramones made me realize I could play music. Ramones made me realize, like, oh, playing it that fast is real good. Like,
Yeah.
the influence is undeniable. Now, do they historically deserve to be rated in the top 100 bands of all time? Probably not.
But like, But if they are, see, like that's where you go. Like, what are we talking about? Like, if we're talking about guitar skill, no. Guitar influence, yeah.
Yes.
Band skill, no. Band influence, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah, because they showed people how to do it.
yeah. You have to. It's a very very clear distinction that needs to be made because even at the time, it's not like it. Yes, it's a new sound, it's a new skill, it's a new day, but it's not really.
Yeah.
MC5 was doing pretty fucking funky ass shit before them. There's lots of like, but it's like, but you weren't singing about glue.
I think the difference between the
I don't know exactly what it is, except for the fact that they're showing that it's possible to do something different, and there are other people out there that like something new and different. So try something new and different.
I think like a big difference, because the MC5 did have some fast shit and stuff. I think the Ramones were more locked in on all of our shit is fast.
Yeah.
And but the difference between the Ramones is they went out of their way to be like, we're gonna be overly simplistic and we're gonna be a noticeable shift in the vibe. MC5 was still like, they definitely changed shit up, but they had remnants of like past genres and shit. Ramones were just like, because you got to think about it. Like, now we laugh like. It's funny, like now when you listen to Blitzkrieg Bop, it feels like it's slow when you listen to the album recording.
Yeah.
At the time, people were like, how's this song staying on the record so fast?
Yeah.
By the way, sidebar, have you ever read the story about how MC5 fucked their career up? Mm-mm. Yeah, I forget the specifics, but it was this whole thing with like putting an ad in a newspaper and they were like mad at their record label or something like that. And they put like curse, because this is back in like the 60s and shit. So they put like curse words in it, like fuck the record label or something. And it just got them blackballed the rest of their life. Like literally.
Which is arguably more punk rock than what the Ramones have ever done.
Oh yeah, the Ramones are not punk rock in spirit.
They're punctual. They show up on time. I don't think they're not actually abusing the substances. Maybe Dee Dee was. But like they're really,
yeah, he was.
Yeah, no, maybe. I might have. I honestly, you can't tell me that maybe that was the first time he ever did heroin. Guy's a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I gotta tell you, if you die from it, that's probably something you're doing a couple times.
Yeah, I honestly, and if they would have checked him, I'm not trying to COVID this thing, but if they would have checked him, they might have found out he had cancer when he died from heroin. So I'm just saying.
I'm gonna start doing that whenever there's like historical deaths. I'm just gonna go
cancer,
vaccinated.
Yeah, but I think there's a.
It's like, Hitler didn't kill himself.
Yeah,
COVID vaccine.
Yeah, he was actually vaccinated.
Yeah, thanks Fauci.
Yeah.
Or well, actually, yeah, thanks Fauci.
Yeah. But there's like, I think there's just like a level of like praise being heaped on them in the wrong way.
It's because they have the machine. It's the joke I always make. It's like, you ever notice the bands that are considered the top bands of all time have shirts at Kohl's? And it's like, yeah, no, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Most of those bands are good. But like, brother, give me Creedence any day of the week. You never see their fucking shirt.
ELO,
like all those bands. It's like, because like Ramones, I remember one of the things I read about the Ramones is they had like, they struck like they were always hit or miss with like the money they were making, but God damn it, were they always
Jesus.
selling that goddamn T-shirt with
Yeah.
the fucking seal on the front? And they were selling, so they made a fuck ton of money off that T-shirt. And then it's just, they get that legendary status, and now the machine can work where we build the legend, so we can just, you get kids in high school now wearing a Ramones shirt, and fucking fat retards like us are like, name 3 songs.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. They're one of the first bands that are like. It's kind of the same way with like the White Stripes. It's the same way I feel about like they're like the White Stripes were definitely one of the greatest guitar players of all time. Like it's a
God,
thing
they
where
gotta
like
be one of the greatest dog shit drummers of all
it-
time.
yeah, it's a you get so much, and I'm not saying that they're not a part of it, and they're not like, but in these cases,
Part of it.
but in
Sorry.
what was that?
That's that song. You're part of it.
And also, I'm gonna just actually take a quick break right now because I have to go piss really bad.
Get AIDS medication.
AIDS
into him.
medication from my
AIDS
doctor.
medication.
It's at the door. I'll be right back.
Bong! Patrick, AIDS medication delivery.
Stanley. Stanley. Stanley.
What's gay?
Please note, this is a fun bar show. It's usually a nice full house of people.
Oh, is that Destiny?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was telling me about that. She had a show recently where a dude ended his set with apparently a crazy uncomfortable rape joke. And now she's like, I have to tell people now to not do. I'm like, well, no, you just have to book better comics.
Yeah. But don't worry, she's still telling people not to.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it to her. 'Cause it's like it doesn't matter. But I was like, yeah, you probably booked a shitty open mic. Right?
Yeah. Don't worry about what that guy's doing. Don't book him. If you don't think he's funny, don't. Yeah, never mind. Whatever.
Can you just do a big clap for me? Got you to do a clap.
I got the clap.
All right,
Sorry,
we're back.
I just had to beat on some
No,
brats.
Pat got an order of baseball bats.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, that's a really funny thing about their logo I read about, where it's like, yeah, we we were making the cover, and we're like, we're like the most American thing next to apple pie. And I pay my taxes. The government don't own that fucking eagle. That's my eagle. So we used the eagle, and then we were gonna make the seal, and then you know, we were gonna keep it an olive branch like in the fucking original, but like nothing's more American than apple pie. So we put an apple in his hand, and then Johnny was like, I like baseball, so we put a baseball bat in his other paw, in his other claw. You're just like, dude, you're just a bunch of fucking retards from
That's
New
what I'm
York.
saying. It's like they.
Just a bunch of retards from Queens.
It's not. I don't know how like. There's an element of it that they're like oh, we're in the doo-wop, so we're gonna dress in leather jackets and jeans, and we're gonna speed up that type of music and go doo-wop.
Yeah.
Or bird is the word. Bird.
Like the shit like that, weird covers and different things that you're gonna do. Fine,
Their Surfing Bird cover does rip.
it does.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like they don't have this. They have. I don't know how much of it's a character or how much they're just actually like early fucking like boomer ass dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like where they're just like, because I remember.
Oh, like how much of it is them realizing like, oh, like we can make money off of this.
Yeah, that's what, like way later. Like there was a joke and they were doing the thing, but it's not like they were. Yes, they weren't going into it to change music or anything like that, but they also, I don't think they're going in it to be like fun artists. I think they're just like, let's just do like we're like American. Like it's like they didn't get the sell. They didn't actually figure out what was appealing about them until much later.
Yeah.
They just were persistent. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you're
I don't know, like-
you're completely on to something because I think Johnny Ramone was a big. I can't remember who the fuck is who. Johnny's the guitarist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Johnny Ramone was a big element of that because he was the dude who was like, he kind of like ran the band from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was always being like, no, this is what we are and this is what we're doing. Dude, to the point where he's actually
Like their Kiss. Like
he's
that
kinda-
level of Kiss.
100%.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of the reason they broke up.
Yeah.
Because, and dude, you were talking on No More Heroes about like these are specific moments where you're like, if this didn't happen, the UFC would have gone to this way.
Yeah.
And I was reading this thing about, I didn't realize this. Fucking Brett Gerwit, that's his name, from Bad Religion,
Yeah.
ran Epitaph. He almost made the Ramones like he almost brought them into the modern era of music.
Yeah.
But Johnny Ramone was like, no, we got to deal with this record label. We're going to stay here. And it's like, that's the record label that, because apparently there was a bunch of shit with the record label that was like keeping them locked into like, no, we want you guys to just do the Ramones thing every fucking time.
Yeah.
And then they were like, finally.
And they're like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
yeah. And I think.
It's like, it's very broken.
No, and I think if they would have, because like Joey's thing was like, no, there's this record label with dudes who grew up listening to our band.
Yeah.
They're fans of us. They're going to be real hyped on anything we do.
You know who he brought in
So we
instead?
can actually, 13 albums in, move in a slightly more creative way.
You know who he brought in instead?
Who?
Tom Waits.
Who did?
Epitaph.
Really?
And you know what band he was in? MC5.
Was he?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
He was MC5?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. MC5. Like, because I remember looking that up, going like, who the fuck is Tom Waits? And then going like looking up like some of his history and just being like, oh, that's.
I don't know a lot about Tom Waits. I know he's one of the dudes you're supposed to be obsessed with, but I don't know a lot about Tom Waits.
I might be wrong.
I think he's like, I could be wrong about this. I think Tom Waits is Dylan for Cool Guys.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's who Tom Waits is.
Tom Waits.
But yeah, dude, I was like reading that and like, I was reading a bunch of stuff and preparing for this app and thinking of a bunch of funny things, and then that one literally hit me, and I go, because like that is my thing with the Ramones. I think they have some amazing fucking songs, but they just were like, they kept themselves so locked into these strict parameters.
Wayne Kramer. That's the one I was that was what I was thinking of.
What?
He signed Wayne Kramer.
Not Tom Waits.
Not Tom Waits. But Tom Waits was on Epitaph, I believe, as well.
Oh, that's cool.
But Wayne
Who's
Kramer.
Wayne Kramer?
Wayne Kramer was a member of the MC5, but I think he either did solo stuff or did something else. But it was Wayne Kramer. He was on Punkaramas. So like,
Oh, cool.
So what you're saying, I'm telling you right now, he absolutely was doing. he was taking band either
Like legends
legends from bands
and like
that he-
helping reinvent them.
yeah, he was taking people that he listened to that inspired him and trying to sign them.
Yeah, there is
much
a-
like we were talking about with UFC and Pride,
Yeah.
bringing in a new blood as well as some old legends.
Yeah, no, there is a thing with the Ramones where it's just like it
They're
is
their own
it is
worst
a
enemy.
funny it is like a funny joke to make, but the more we talk about it and the more you like really think about it, you're like, yeah, why did you guys never try anything different?
Anything.
Why was it always like, all right, we got a new album, what should we do? You want to do the same fucking thing we've
same
done every fucking album?
fucking thing. Even when what's his face, Joey Ramone went solo, and he did the cover of the Louis Armstrong song. That's a good cover. Remember that? Yeah. I see dreams of me,
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
I did a combination of both of them. That was
No,
great.
it sounded exactly like the original. That's how I knew what it was.
Or even like Joey Ramone doing like what if he ended up becoming the lead singer of the Misfits? I think that would have been a fun, cool, interesting way to do that.
What if Dee Dee would have died before he ever started rapping?
Oh my god. that would have been a win.
That would have been so much better.
But there's so many different like what ifs that if they like that, even that simple like solo thing, you wouldn't think that Joey Ramone doing a solo thing would be something good or cool. And then
No.
you hear him working with a different producer, doing something different besides
Yeah.
like punk rock and shit like that, and you're like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like this is
I think so.
so like the reason I feel comfortable making fun of them was because they definitely were their own worst enemy.
No,
They
don't make
got
it.
in-
don't
they got in
make
their own
a-
way.
Don't make a disclaimer. They deserve to be made fun of as much as they deserve praise.
You have an era of the Ramones, and this is Jesus. I think this is for anybody,
Hey man, shut up.
unless you end up becoming a musician, and then you can actually say like this directly. But like for most of us, we have our Ramones phase, and if you don't grow out of that phase, I can't help you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if you don't ever get out of that phase to be like to get to a point where you're like, I can look back at the Ramones and go, there's a couple that actually rip, but I'd rather hear a faster, better. We were talking about this on the
Rather hear
Misfits one.
Pennywise covered
I
the
was-
song.
Yeah, I'd rather hear a Ramones cover best of album from like bands that were influenced.
Oh
by
yeah,
them.
that's what we
Those are
were.
all-
That's what we were saying during Misfits. I'd rather go to a local bar and see a really talented Misfits cover band than the actual original band.
I was thinking this. So I did finally get to see. It was scrolling through like Vines or something like that. Not Vines, but
I go, no, you weren't.
yeah, Reels or what's the other thing?
TikTok.
Yeah, and it was Danzig
Oh no, also,
doing the.
What's the other thing you watch? Gay porn.
Yeah, I was flipping through my gay porn, and I came across Danzig. It was crazy, but no, it was him with Doyle, and it was them doing the reunion shows at
Yeah.
MSG, and I heard him singing some Misfit songs, and I go, "Damn, Michael Graves is better than." Like
Dude, I was watching.
I saw him in 2024. I saw what's his face in 2024. Danzig, Michael Graves, both of them. Who sounds better? Michael Graves.
Dude, I was watching fucking Misfits from Coachella
Uh-huh.
with Danzig.
Yeah.
And I was laughing. I go, no fucker, you still got to do the stupid crooning voice you do.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wasn't doing. They were doing.
That's what it was. Yeah.
They were doing when Eagles.
He's going like 20 eyes in my head. Like you got to go.
Yeah, and he was just yelling. I go, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
You got popular crooning. Croon.
Yeah.
Croon, Danzig, croon.
But
Can I say one more thing about the Ramones?
please don't.
Please,
God, please don't.
I will, and you'll deal with it. No,
Don't hurt yourself.
we do. Dude, you're so funny. You're so critical of them. I feel like they hurt you more than I realized.
It's just a thing where like I never liked them.
Yeah, no, it just feels like,
they
you're
always
more-
seem like creeps, and I never liked them. Joey Ramone didn't seem like a creep as much as for just visually was just
scary.
terrifying.
He was a
Like,
creepy crawly.
very creepy crawly.
Yeah.
But at least like the other guys, I remember one time watching one of those documentaries when I was into them big time, and Johnny saying something along the lines of like he's getting filmed. And he's like, "Get that out of my face." He's like, "Or else I'll what do you want me to show you my cherry red asshole?" And it creeped me the fuck out. As like I was just like, "Ew."
To be fair,
That's too vivid.
One thing that gets lost on a lot of people, because like I said, the thing that music fans and documentarians and all that shit love to do is just rewrite history. They love being like WWE in the one documentary, just being like, yeah, we just got kind of tired of an F. Why don't we have an E? And it's like, no, you lost a lawsuit to a fucking panda.
Yeah.
And like they
Get
love
the
to
F out.
They love to rewrite history. And I was talking about this, reading that I was reading that one book called Please Kill Me, and it's supposed to be about like the formation of like punk rock in like the 60s and 70s, like the beginnings of it. And it's just all these people who you're supposed to hold up as like, these are the legends, we love these people, we admire these people. And I'm just reading through the book and I go, all these people are fucking losers.
There's so many,
and that's the big thing people don't realize is like your punk rock heroes from the like 70s, 80s, and 90s, the vast majority of them they're kind of fucking loser dirtbags.
they're phony.
Did they write amazing music? Yes.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of them are big time loser dirtbags.
They're phony dickhead weirdos. Like they're
all addicted to heroin.
Yeah. Well, it's just gross. It's just like overall.
Also, apparently Lou Reed was sucking dudes off. No, there's literally a part in the book where Lou Reed was like, yeah, if I didn't get any pussy, I would just try to get my friend to let me blow him. I go, that's what?
What is that?
Huh?
That seems like you weren't actually looking for the first thing.
Yeah.
You just wanted
How
the
hard did
second
you
thing.
try for the pussy, Lou?
Yeah, you're like, hey, can I get some?
Oh,
All right, well,
my one thing I wanted to bring up about the live show. We do have to give them props because I don't know how a band. Didi Ramone would say 1, 2, 3, 4 at the exact same tempo every single time. He would go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
There would be a pregnant pause, and then the entire band would come in at the exact same time.
Same tempo, everything.
Every single fucking song.
Yeah.
Don't know how you do it, but god damn it, that's some level of locked in.
Yeah.
Also, it's very funny watching like later Ramones. Because it becomes very apparent of Joey Ramone being just over it.
Yeah.
Dude, the way he would phone it in singing live would make me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Because, like, they'd be doing Blitzkrieg Bop. He'd be like, no, dude, literally, he would go,
Yeah.
and you're like, not a word, man.
Yeah. That's why, like, so, like, my thing is that playing super fast thing
Yeah.
is nice, except for the fact that if you don't clearly say what the song is
You're
beforehand,
just playing Blitzkrieg Bop over and over
it's
again.
just over and over again. And I understand why you're so popular in Japan because they don't understand English, so they're just happy to hear some noises and like the tones that they kind of they're just happy to be there. It's just like a thing.
Just happy to be there,
They
bro.
became such a novelty act so early on that it got to a point where it's like
I love how brutal you're being.
but it's true. Like it's just the fact that like they're at no point am I invested in like the guys. Like, oh man, I wonder what Joey's up to nowadays. I hope like even if they like when they were around,
Yeah.
it wasn't like what's the new project that you're doing, because I know you're not doing anything really new.
I hear you.
You're not invested. You're not like, I don't believe you're actually friends. I don't believe you're actually anything. It just seems like it's been a business for as long as I've been aware that you guys exist.
Yeah.
And like if there was ever any kind of feeling or story or history behind it, but to be
It's
honest,
all fake.
it's just crazy. It just sucks. It just kind of like after a while, you are just the Ramones. You're not a punk band. You're not anything else. You're just your own little thing, which is impressive, and I think it's really cool.
And they deserve the credit for what they did.
For what they built, but not anything else.
But then when you I think I get where you're coming from now, because it is like if the Ramones would have stopped in like the 80s, we would have looked at them way different.
Yeah.
But then when you see, you're like, oh, so you guys just turned into a business right away, and you put out 14 albums, and they're all the same album. And I get what you're saying. Like with the longevity of their career, every year, I feel like every year past like 85, just like, you know,
Just novelty.
Pre-85,
Yeah.
if they were a Madden character, they'd be like a 95.
Yeah.
Every year past 85 just like knocks them down a peg.
Yeah, they never, and I don't know why, and that's what I'm saying is like I don't really know why they were never better than they were. Do you know what I mean? Like they never got any, because it's not like they could have hired different people. They could have featured on different songs. They could have been so it doesn't feel like they were artists. It just feels like they were dudes that wanted to start this one thing. This gimmick kind of took off, and they never built on it.
Yeah.
They never built on what they built.
Yeah, I think
they never grew.
I think that was the plan though.
Like they could have
I think
even
that
done
was
like a Guar thing.
I think the plan was, we are the Ramones, and we're gonna this is the Ramones, and we're gonna do this every time.
Yeah,
I think that was the plan from day one.
But like that, what they did became so less impressive so early.
Yeah,
that the amount of time that they got out of it is truly surprising to me. Like that, even in Japan.
maybe.
You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but I hear where you're coming from. I wouldn't say truly surprising, but yeah, I hear where you're coming
think
from.
about another example of what we're saying. Like Kiss. Kiss is a band that like they wear fucking platform shoes. They paint their face. They got fucking pyro. They got like spitting blood and like a little mini storyline, and then some pretty fucking rockin' tunes. You know what I'm saying? Like they just went up there with their leather jackets and just go like play the songs so that they're so unrecognizable just to get through them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it seems like you're more like you're just getting through. You're going through the
But
motions than you
gotta
are
remember,
playing a gig.
You got to remember though, like the Ramones weren't. Like they weren't big their whole career. And you could still do like, you know, and also they're not doing a whole tour around Japan. They're doing like they're probably doing a show in Japan every 2 years.
I don't know. I think I remember the documentary being them being on tour overseas. Like so like they definitely did tours, but then like Joey got sick.
No, I'm not saying they didn't do tours.
Yeah.
You also got to put it into context, like how often were they playing Japan? If you play Japan, if you're the Ramones and you play Japan once a year, maybe once every 2 years, it's going to be easy as hell filling up that arena.
Yeah.
Or wherever the fuck you play. So you got to look at it that way. You got to look at the fact that they were so impactful when they first came out. So like, boom, you got huge nostalgia part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I 100% get where you're coming from.
Even as far as like band franchises.
Yeah.
Like, I just go like even that's just very underwhelming to me.
Sure. And I think that's I think a big part about the Ramones is trying to put your head in the context of whatever year you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because in 2025, everything you're saying I get from the context of like all the music that has ever come. But then if you go into the 80s when there's not so many bands influenced by the Ramones, yeah, they probably sound like a more special thing.
Yeah.
You know, and also too, to be fair, they did kind of like bow out and do they did a farewell tour in like 95.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they would have kept going, if they were doing shows in 2010, are they the same legendary band, or are they playing Hard Rock cafes?
I also feel like they could have done, to an extent, they could have done something like a Guar where they could have just continued to switch out people.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Continue the catalog, continue the franchise.
Oh, speaking of switching out people, the funniest one was Elvis Ramone.
Oh, yeah?
Did you read about him?
No, I remember CJ Ramone.
Yeah, Elvis Ramone, when CJ, I think, so Marky got kicked out because he was an alcoholic. I forget why, but was CJ the guitarist?
CJ, I think so, yeah.
So whoever was the
remember.
drummer
He might have been the
after,
bassist.
whoever was the drummer after Marky, I can't remember any of their names.
Doesn't
But then
matter.
that drummer gets kicked out, and then they get the drummer from Blondie, and he called himself Elvis Ramone, and they played 2 shows with him, and they're like, he can't keep up with any song. So he literally only lasted 2 shows with them.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then they got Marky or whoever back. I feel like I've been heavy dictating this pod for a minute. If you would like to drive the ship for next week, or drive us point us in a certain direction for next week.
An album, right? We
I
could do
mean,
an album.
if there's a music concept or an event.
Let's see here. I don't know. Oh yeah. So well, I guess we could talk about. What was the one thing? Damn it! I think I sent it to you, but I can't remember if I saved it or not.
Texted it to me?
I might have. Like when we were talking about the tour that was coming through, and I was like, I went to the. Oh yeah, it was Atreyu, Norma Jean with Unearth. And I remember, I think that was the same tour. Or no, wasn't it Slayer? Well, fuck, who was it? Like every time I would go see the band, or it was like a tour that essentially they were doing the same tour that I saw Norma Jean on, was the thing that they were doing, like the 20th or 20 some odd 25th anniversary of that same tour.
Okay.
And they were redoing it, and they were coming through Austin.
Oh, that's sick.
And then I was like, oh, that would be so cool to see that same lineup again. And then the same thing with Slayer, I thought of, like going to see them. I saw them with Mastodon, Killswitch Engage.
Oh, nice.
And then it was Slayer.
Killswitch would be a fun one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of any one of those.
Could we do an album with the black dude on it?
Yeah. Which one? End of the Heartache?
Yeah, the one with the song on it.
End of Heartache?
Yeah.
I'm down for that. So that's what I was thinking of, like, because I remember, I think that was the first and possibly only time I ever saw. What the fuck are you looking through podcasts for, idiot?
Stupid bitch.
Stupid phone. But Killswitch Engage. Yeah, just to make sure. That's the name of the song. Oh, the album is also End of Heartache.
Yeah.
So 2004, End of Heartache. That's the one that we're going to be doing. So, but yeah, the topic that I was talking about was us talking about certain tours or things that we went to specifically, like that really stand out. And I remember that being a really awesome show, lineup wise, thinking like that's crazy to see Mastodon, Killswitch Engage, then Slayer. Or it was Killswitch Engage, Mastodon, then Slayer.
I got to see, if we're talking about tours,
Yeah.
I got to see Weird Al in the same room I eventually graduated high school in.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird Al is one of the best. And I've seen Weird Al twice as a kid. One of the best live shows. Dude, every costume.
Yeah.
He does every costume.
There's spectacle. Oh, speaking of costumes, I think at the end of this month, the Aquabats are coming.
Oh, really?
So I think that would be...
Is Travis Barker back in the band yet?
Not yet, but he did just do the Black Sabbath thing. I don't see why he wouldn't do the Aquabats thing.
Yeah, man. Back to the beginning of the Aquabats.
That's the way he should. He should go back to the beginning.
He really should just show
So it could
up
be
one
either
day.
Killswitch Engage or Aquabats. No, it would be Killswitch Engage.
Too similar. Let's split it up.
Next week will be Aquabats.
All right. Next week, Killswitch Engage. Hell yeah, dude. I'm very excited. I think that dude has one of the best metal voices in the world.
The rangiest, most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Yes.
Besides mine.
Besides Bats. And Joey Ramone.